Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Just Plain Living. I'm Just Plain John Gray.
And I'm Jim Fuller.
Good morning, Jim Fuller.
It's been a while since it's been just me and you, John.
Yeah, it has. It has.
Yeah.
We're fluffless today.
Yes, we have no fluff today. Both of the ladies are off today.
Peggy couldn't talk. She emailed me this morning and said she just couldn't talk.
Really?
Lost her voice.
Yeah.
And Lauren, I think Rocky is having some health problems.
That's Lauren's dog.
Lauren's dog.
Yeah.
He's been in the hospital, and he's going to need a little constant care for a few days.
Mm-hmm.
So she's taking care of Rocky, which that's what she needs to be doing. Rocky's my buddy.
So this ought to be an interesting segment because John and I have hardly seen it. Well, we'd worked a show together last night, but we really have no material.
Jimmy and I usually just pitch something up in the air.
Right.
And between Peggy and Lauren, it gets talked about for about 10 minutes.
Have you noticed that too?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, and we just sort of back off and smile.
Right, exactly. Anyway, so I heard something from the control room.
They're back there in the control room screaming.
We're glad to have them back because Philip's been at Bonnaroo for the last few days.
Philip and Andrew.
Did we ever find Andrew?
I don't know. Andrew might still be over there.
Yeah, okay.
If you're driving around where Bonnaroo was and you see a pair of flip-flops and toes sticking up out of the mud, look for a pair of sunglasses about 5'8" back, and that might be Andrew, and pry him out and send him home.
That's right. That's right.
But I think they all had a good time. I think Bonnaroo was evidently a success this year, as it is every year.
Sure.
And I think Philip has some video we're going to see today. Probably quite a bit because there was some really, really interesting stuff. I think Kenny Rogers was there and got the key to the city from Mayor Pennington.
Yeah, exactly.
And good thing. And I don't know whether we're going to use it today or not, but I went out to the airport over the weekend and took some film. I call it the Jets of Bonnaroo because people don't realize how much airline fuel that the city of Tullahoma sells during Bonnaroo from all these jets and big aircraft coming in here, bringing not just the stars in, but a lot of people. It's amazing. There's some of the medium-sized to large jets that show up out there, and there might be 4 to 6 people get out of it.
Right. You know, and we're fortunate to have that airport here in Tullahoma in Coffee County because, you know, it certainly is a big plus when you have events like this.
Right, and everybody, you know, you talk to the pilots that come in, and I visit with them and the different folks, and the ones that have not been here before are very impressed with the airport in Tullahoma. And the facility, our new facility, and the way everybody treats them out there, they are really impressed with it, and it's a star in the crown of Tullahoma right there. I mean, it's a great facility, and you know, for those out there who say Bonnaroo doesn't do anything for Tullahoma, well, we probably sell as much fuel in 4 days out there as we normally sell in a couple of 2 or 3 months. So, because when those big boys come in and fill up, they're buying a bunch of petrol.
And how cool would that be if you wanted to go somewhere, you're in New York and you want to go to Bonnaroo, you get on your own private plane and just, you know.
That's what a lot of them do.
Especially these days when you have to go through airport security and all that kind of stuff. So.
And, of course, this weekend as well was the CMA thing up in Nashville, CMA week. Used to be called Fanfare.
Right.
And they said that yesterday, would be the biggest air traffic day at Nashville Airport of the year. More so than Thanksgiving, Christmas, any of them. The day, Monday after Bonnaroo and CMA's is their busiest day of the year.
You know, and the CMA's, I noticed this morning on television a record crowd this year for them as well as Bonnaroo. And,
huge.
You know, I think it drew like 71,000 to that, and we had about 80,000 for Bonnaroo.
Right.
So unbelievable, that many music fans in Tennessee.
You know, and I think there was something going on in Chattanooga at the river down there, some kind of blues deal going on down there. So, you know, Nashville's not just Music City. Tennessee is the music state. It seems like, because you've got Beale Street in Memphis and all the blues and jazz that takes place over there. It's really amazing how much music is played and created in the state of Tennessee.
Right.
And you know, our friend and Representative Judd Matheny that's one of the reasons that a lot of these people are coming into the state to produce movies, because a lot of the technology is the same, and finding people technically inept to or adapted to use the type of stuff they need. So it's real easy to make the transfer. Well, nothing's easy, but it's easier when you have those kind of technical people.
It hadn't been easy for us to make the transfer from the technology we knew when we started this business to today, has it, John?
No. We used to be able to produce this stuff ourselves. Now we can't even understand it. Had to hire somebody to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
I can remember when we were still at the Legion, I'd produce something and I had a stick, and I'd put a tape in, 2 sticks, and you'd start the tape, and then it took 3 seconds before you started something else
before
over here.
The tape kicked in.
To sync it up, so you had sticks and you were punching pieces of equipment to make the stuff happen.
Well, yeah, and that was pretty important. Syncing things up was used to be a real issue when you were playing from VCR to VCR, and if you tried to get it perfect where you didn't have glitches in it, sometimes, especially if you were doing a 30-minute show, you might get down to the last 5 minutes and mess something up, and you'd have to redo the whole thing.
Start all over.
Because there was, before the digital world, there was a big time loss of quality the more times you copied that down.
Sure.
So,
and trying to put background music on something.
Yeah.
And get it to start and stop at the right places. It was of course, we've been doing this for 20 years this year. And when we started it all, I mean, you talk about a shoestring. We started on a broken shoestring.
That's right.
And I'm sure there were people out there who had equipment that would make it do what we had to do a lot easier than we did it.
Actually, there was, at that point, there were some things better, but back then a normal VCR that you used at your home would cost you about $300 maybe, $200 to $300. The ones we were having to use in our production was like 2,000, 2,500, and if you were in Nashville, those machines that did that were probably 15,000, I'd say, or more. So anyway,
we buy equipment by the hundreds, and they buy them by the hundreds of thousands.
Exactly.
At that point.
Exactly.
But now things are, your home computer's got the stuff on it that's far superior to what we had when we were in business, paying all that money for it. And now, you can edit right there at your house.
Well, yeah, and if you're not familiar with this, the neat thing about that is now, instead of pushing buttons and trying to get everything synced up, you mentioned doing background music into something like that. Well, you just put it all on your computer screen, line it up like you want to, and move it around.
Push a button.
That's a simplified version of that. I'll give Philip Scoggins, our producer, some credit for having some skill at that.
He does have skill. He does have skill. He was talking about Bonnaroo over there, and had an opportunity to show you how proprietary they are over there, and they really are, and I don't blame them. Philip got an offer by one of the helicopter guys to take him up to shoot some video of the site, which would have been really cool. And knowing how proprietary they are, he went to the media guys, and he wanted to make sure that it was okay that he do that. And also the helicopter guy said you needed to go over there and talk to him. And of course they said, no, you can't do that. You're not authorized to do that. So I mean, those are real business people over there that run that place.
Big time.
And they've done a wonderful thing for this county and for this area by bringing that type of business in here. And they're green. They're doing everything. They're trying to do everything the right way. All of the things you eat with, your forks and knives and stuff, are made out of corn.
Yeah.
And drop it on the ground, it decomposes.
Yeah,
it's not
everything's biodegradable.
All of it is. Yeah. All of it is. And they do a great job.
Speaking of Bonnaroo, and that's, of course, the hot topic, I guess, today, because it's such a huge event. But you mentioned Kenny Rogers got the key to the city. And Philip was telling me that Kenny did a song, and then Lionel Richie who wasn't even scheduled to perform, came over and did a duet with
Did Kenny. Lady with him.
Yeah, and a lot of you may not know, but Lionel Richie wrote Lady.
Yeah.
He,
Yeah.
you know, and most everything else that he and the Commodores did.
Right,
So,
right.
How wealthy is that guy?
And he
You
flew
know,
in.
so-
He flew in just to do that one thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he did. Got up on stage, and they did that. I forget what show it was. Oh, there was a show recently in tribute to Lionel Richie, and all of the different people. Because I think this new album he's done has been a duet album, and he sang with Tony Bennett and different ones. And a lot of that show were these people, and he sang that song with Kenny Rogers on that show. And that's why he came, was just to do that one song, got back on his jet and left.
Unbelievable. You know, what a...
That's money.
You talk about big-time talent when you have those two on the
yeah.
stage at the same time. And what a great career Kenny Rogers has had over the years.
Kenny Rogers, and one of the things, our buddy Teddy Bart writes a blog called The Talent Survival Guide, and it's about creative people and what it takes to survive. And he had an article recently about Lionel Richie, and the article was about what happens when you get left behind. And Teddy said, you know, he spent his whole life as an interviewer, and his job to interview was to, excuse me, sit in the middle and ask reasonable questions and, you know, paddle the responses back and forth in a sort of a kind and civil way, because that's what that industry called for. And he said when they went to combative
yeah.
type of interviewers, to where the interviewer is like Rush Limbaugh or one of those guys, and their whole job is to make the person they're talking with lose their mind, lose their cool, and turn it into, you know, hardcore TV where everybody's listening because they want to see how mad everybody gets. Teddy said he couldn't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And Lionel Richie said the same thing about when music changed. And what you have to do is it's not that you've lost your talent, it's that the way that your talent is being used has changed, and you have to recreate yourself. And that's what Lionel Richie has done.
Oh, yeah.
In doing what he's done and leaving the Commodores, and that whole sound is gone. So he's recreated the way he sings. He's come to Nashville and found folks. He's gone out and found a way to remain creative and bring a product to all of us that's something we enjoy.
Sure.
And that's what the truly talented people do.
Exactly.
And see, these two truly talented people have taken care of this whole opening segment without any fluff.
We have struggled through this opening segment. We had absolutely nothing to talk about.
That's talent.
Somebody referred to that one time as useless dribble.
That's it.
And
That's it. But we have some great guests coming on the show here today. You hang around. It's going to be fun, and we'll be right back with our first guest after these few messages. The greatest dad deserves the greatest meal on his special day. So Jay Gregory and the Bell Buckle Bunch are going to make sure that happens by serving up a delightful Father's Day buffet. Featured chef Bill Hall of Our House fame has teamed up with the Bell Buckle Cafe to offer a wonderful menu at the Bell Buckle Banquet Hall on Father's Day. Beef brisket, ribs, catfish, barbecued chicken, and pulled pork, along with Bill's famous salads, breads, vegetables, and desserts. The Bell Buckle Banquet Hall Father's Day Buffet is June 17th from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. Adults $22.95, children $9.95. He's the best, so give him the best. For reservations, call 931-389-0223.
Times have changed since Traders Bank first opened our doors in 1889. Back then, online banking meant people were waiting ahead of you. And technology? The word hadn't even been invented yet. Even though banking has transformed over the years, at Traders, one thing has never changed. Friendly smiles, a neighborly hello, and a sincere appreciation for our customers. When a Traders employee says, "You're welcome," you are, and you always will be. Traders Bank, you're welcome. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
These are the children who had no chance. They're known as Brazil's street kids. They wander the streets dying by the thousands from drugs, AIDS, and bullets. Most of them have been abandoned, left to survive on their own. These These children needed a place to go. I had to do something. So I brought it up at Rotary. People heard about what we were doing and asked how they could help. Together, we raised funds to give them a home and open the school. They're learning a trade. Now hundreds of kids have a family and a future. They're contributing to the community because Rotary believes in making things better for everyone.
Rotary is making a difference right now.
They have hope.
Rotary gives people an opportunity to help.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're pleased to have joining us on the set now from Lynchburg, Tennessee, metropolitan Moore County, Woody Bedford, who is the president of the Chamber of Commerce in Metro Moore County. Woody just told me right before we went on there that Metro Moore County is the second largest metro government in the state of Tennessee.
Hey, we have our claim to fame. If you're the second smallest county, you need to be large in something. We're large metro.
That's
Us in Nashville.
Yeah, there's only two to our knowledge. So anyway, and obviously, Metro Moore County, of course, is the home of Jack Daniels. That's their real claim to fame. But today we've got some other stuff going on down there as well, Woody, and some of it starts this weekend, I think, does it not?
We really got some big things going on, and since you mentioned Jack Daniel, and we're always appreciative of them, and the fact that we make the world's most famous adult beverage in Lynchburg. If Lynchburg town name is on it, it's family, and that's what we got coming up with this weekend. Diamond Gusset Jeans, that's a 100% American-made company. The fabric is from America. They're sewn in north of Atlanta. We're selling them in Lynchburg. This Saturday, they're going to be about 3,000 pair of them on sale for half price. General Gary Harrell from Black Hawk Down fame will be there. Phil Valentine is going to be there for the day. They got singers. They got food. We got all kinds of entertainment. And right next door is the Moon Pie Outlet Store. Now, if you need your Moon Pie and RC Cola, we got it. Or we got my favorite, that's that Moon Pie and a big orange drink. Now, it's all going. And that'll be 11 to 6 this weekend. And the following weekend is the big daddy of them all. 50 years we've been celebrating Frontier Days.
That's unbelievable.
That'll be Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, all day Saturday. There's family fun. We've got carnivals. We've got street dances, and this year we have a rodeo, and we're really grateful for the sponsor, the name sponsor, Stan McNabb Automotive Group out of Tullahoma has really helped us, and we're really grateful to Stan McNabb for what they've done for our rodeo. So you come see the rodeo, you can street dance Friday and Saturday night, the carnival. We've got everything from the little kiddie rides where the little boat goes around the circle to them rides that turn you upside down, spin you sideways, and make you sick. So whatever one you want to play on, it's going to be there. Thursday night's armband night.
What does the armband mean now?
Armband is you pay one price. I think it's $12, and you ride everything you can ride for free.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
right.
It's Thursday night, Thursday night 5 to 10. Saturday noon to 4 is armband, and like I say, $12 you can ride everything you want to. Friday and Saturday night you pay $12 down at the rodeo, and you can see a real rodeo. This is a Professional Cowboy Association sanctioned rodeo. We've got some added money, so there's some big time cowboys and cowgirls coming, and it's always fun. And Friday night, when that last cowboy hits the dirt or cheers for success, about 3 minutes after that, we've got some fantastic fireworks.
Oh, okay.
Sponsored by International Book Import Service going to go on. And then again, always Friday and Saturday night, there's that street dance at Farmers Bank Stage. Vintage Country is playing. I've heard them a couple of times. They're fantastic. And if you come into the street dance, you might ought to bring your own chair to rest in if you think you need it. Otherwise, strap on your dancing shoes and come on down.
Are we going to have the old-fashioned gunfight on the street on
Twice.
Saturday? On twice.
Oh,
Okay.
twice.
All
River
right.
Chase Posse is putting on. One of them is at 11:45. They're going to shoot, and the other one about 3 o'clock. They'll take just a couple of minutes before the shootout actually starts and warn everybody because they're shooting real guns with Hollywood blanks.
Right.
And set the area up, and then they get it on.
Yeah, we saw that last year. I think he even filmed a little piece of it for this show. So yeah, it's a big time fun event.
We've got a fantastic parade schedule. Lineup is at 11 o'clock. If you want to be in the parade, show up to the elementary school about 11 o'clock and get in line.
Okay, that's on Saturday, right?
That's on Saturday. They're going to leave the elementary school about 12, and then I know that Lincoln County Horsemen's Association are bringing a whole bunch of horses. There's 3 or 4 wagons that they've talked to us about that are going to show up. Plus Ramble a Raccoon from the state park is going to be there. We've got it all. And really, Saturday morning, if you show up about 9 o'clock, there's a baby contest.
Yeah.
And this is Grandma Judge. This is not this professional fancy. This is Grandma Judge baby contest.
Right.
Later on in the day, you boys that got that round spot on your pants pocket, y'all need to come out and see how far you can spit a watermelon seed.
Oh, okay.
You know, let's do something clean.
Yeah.
We've got the dog contest. We used to call it the ugly dog contest, but we got in trouble for that.
You got in
so
trouble
it's
for
the
that,
dog
yeah, I can
contest.
see that.
And really, my favorite part of it is the cutest goat contest.
Cutest goat.
All that's
Okay.
going on. There's a gingerbread and pie contest in the gazebo. LynchburgTN.com. I just can't say that enough. LynchburgTN.com. If you ever want to know what's happening in Lynchburg, it's LynchburgTN.com. We've got it going on now.
Okay, and I have to say they do, and just from us producing news show here, so many times that comes up on our calendar to go down to Lynchburg and cover this or that, and you know, Lynchburg's a relatively small town. I forget how many people live in Lynchburg. 500.
361.
361. Okay.
Check the old label of Jack Daniels.
Oh, okay.
Hey, now, one of the times you need to come down and ride around with me and my horse.
I was going to ask you about the horse, and I've forgotten her name, but
I'm using Belle right now.
oh, okay. And so you're going to be giving rides, I guess.
I plan on being in town with Belle and old Amish Surrey that has been situated so people can get in the back. We'll be doing rides, but check at LynchburgTN.com. The parade, the auction after the parade, we've got stuff from Dollywood, we've got stuff from Nashville, and we even have a few things for those people who live south of the border. That'd be out of Alabama.
Yeah, right. Okay.
We welcome their money too.
Okay. Real quick now, the Frontier Days is the 21st and 22nd. Is that correct?
And 23rd.
And 23rd.
Okay.
And the events that you've got coming up this weekend, the Moon Pie thing, and
It's
the
Saturday.
Gusset Jeans, that's grand opening for their stores. Is that
Yes.
correct? Okay.
Yes, and we actually have 3 stores opening. Gusset Jeans is having their grand opening. The Moon Pie Outlet store is having their grand opening, and we now have a new store on the square called Heavenly Scents. She's opened with soy-based candles and knickknacks for the house.
Right.
There's an adventure if you come to Lynchburg and just wander around the square. There's an adventure of things from the antique stores to the jewelry, motorcycle wear. You know, we've got it, and if you really want Jack Daniel stuff,
They got
I bet
that,
you can find it too.
I bet you can too. I've been there. I can assure you. Woody, thank you so much. It's
You're
always
welcome.
a pleasure to have you come by. You folks need to get down to Lynchburg next 2 weekends. Big things going on there.
Yes, sir. And always check LynchburgTN.com.
LynchburgTN.com. That's right. All right. We'll be right back in just a moment with more Living.
Hi, I'm Lori Thompson.
And I'm Mike Thompson, and Lori and I have bought the dealership back on Highway 55, Thompson Ford, Tullahoma, Tennessee. It's back, it's wide open for business, and ready to serve you guys in the community.
And we want to thank you for allowing us to raise our children here. We've been here almost 15 years.
We want to thank the community. Without you guys, we couldn't have done it. We know it was your support that allowed us to achieve this dream. Come be a part of the dream, something special. Come see us at Thompson Ford. Ask for Mike or Lori.
Our office used to look like this. But now with My Paper-Free Office from RJ Young, it's easy. We've made all of our files electronic and stored them in our virtual filing cabinet, which gave us tons of space. And Bob here, a big promotion. Melissa can pull files in minutes and spends hours on Facebook. And Kyle's confidential files stay confidential.
We're not totally paper-free, right?
My Paper-Free Office from RJ Young. It's that easy.
Wherever good can overcome, that is where your contributions to the Salvation Army go.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and as we told you as we were opening the show today that Kenny Rogers received the key to the city for the city of Manchester, also was a performer at Bonnaroo this past weekend, and our producer our producer Philip Scoggins rather had the opportunity to video part of an interview with Stephen Wright and Kenny Rogers and others at Bonnaroo, and also I think at the end of this clip Kenny Rogers is going to do a song for us, so we want to bring that to you right now from Bonnaroo.
Well, I'm convinced that a lot of these kids suffered from child abuse when their parents made them listen to my music, but they vicariously know enough of it, and especially the sing-alongs. And that's the kind of stuff I like to do here. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to have a great time.
Kenny, you've seen so much of this industry change. And, I mean, imagine, did you do festivals early on?
Oh, yeah. I did a whole bunch of them early, but they were different at that time. And now there's so much more energy. You know, everyone was so stoned in the 60s, they didn't know what was happening.
One of the things that I've noticed about you in the last couple times we met is that you just seem so grateful that this has all happened, and that's not the case with folks that we generally, not always the case with folks we attach icon to.
Who wouldn't be thankful after 50 years? You know, this is my 50th year of doing this, and it's in a sense one of the most rewarding for that reason. Because you see people drop by the wayside and you wonder how they deal with it. You know, I take 2 weeks off at home and I'm bored to tears, except for the fact that I have identical twin boys that'll be 8 in July, so I'm no longer bored. But it's really a strange thing. You know, those of us who do this for a living have to do it. You know, I don't care if I never do anything else. Music is what I am. Everything else is what I do. And I love being out there. I love making music. And I love it when people know my stuff and can sing along with me. I feel like I'm bringing a little bit of joy, and I know there's a memory somewhere attached to that sing-along.
So wait, Kenny Rogers and Alice Cooper play golf together. Is that what I just heard?
He's actually a very good golfer.
Well, I know, but
I won a lot of money off him.
That doesn't mean that everybody that plays golf together.
People who are good golfers lose a lot of money. It's simple, you know. You have to be mediocre, get a big handicap. But we played twice a week.
What do you talk about?
Snakes, mostly, and no, but he's. I'm sure a lot of you guys got to meet him as a person. He is so unlike what he is on stage that he's really a joy to be around. Wanda and my wife and I ran into him at a Muhammad Ali award dinner, and she just fell in love with him. She thought he was great. So he's not allowed around her anymore.
See, I thought we had something special here, and then he tells a story that involves Muhammad Ali, Alice Cooper, and Kenny Rogers.
I think it's fun to play for an audience who doesn't know what you do. I think it shows the value of what you do if you can make it work. And I think it's very disheartening if you can't. But I think as a rule that people really, if they bother to come, they want to be entertained. And I learned a long time ago, you entertain the first 10 rows and you acknowledge the back 10. Because these are the people here, that emotion is going to carry all the way through the room. If they have fun, they'll have fun. You know, I do two types of music. It's really, as you get older and you start doing this, you start analyzing what you do. I do ballads that say what every man would like to say and every woman would like to hear. Through the years, She Believes in Me, You Decorated My Life, Lady, all of those. And then I do songs that are story songs that have some social significance. If you listen to Reuben James, it's about a black man who raised a white child. Ruby Don't Take Your Love to Town was about a Vietnam War vet who came back home. Coward of the County was about a rape. So all these songs, and I like it when people love the song and they go, oh my God, that was about a rape. They get caught up in the music and then they get the message later. So that's really kind of always been what I do. But I think that the story songs, people do, you have to listen to follow the story. And most people do.
Sooner or later, a few shots of bourbon, and I'll think of something to say. Whoa, I can take her or leave her, and I'd like to take her away. Liquor and music, a good combination, if you got a love on the brain. I never knew two women who acted the same. Cause someone a drinker, someone just had fun. Whoa, it's 2 in the morning, I'm running and she was born. Someone's got a hold on me, it's cheap but it ain't free. Love or something like it's got a hold on me. If you wanna
Citizens Tri-County Bank has the checking, loans, savings, and traditional banking services you want. Plus free internet banking and bill pay, bank your change, Visa gift card, and lots more state-of-the-art banking services. We focus on the service and services you want. So you can bank when, where, and how you want, at our offices, or from just about anywhere. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank you'll ever need.
This facility was built literally on the international date line to bring Charter customers tomorrow's technology first. Like Charter Internet, which was just made faster again. With speeds up to 100 megs, you can download a movie in 2 minutes. The #1 internet service provider in the nation. Click.
Fogelman, good luck with the presentation tomorrow.
Already nailed it.
Get Charter Internet Express for only $19.99 a month.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us now on the set is Benjamin Kelly, and Benjamin is with the Boy Scouts, I believe, in this area. Is that correct?
Yes, we're with. I'm actually with Venturing Crew 1111, which is it's a branch of Boy Scouts. Only it's co-ed and it's for ages 14 through 20, actually. And
wait a second now. Now Boy Scouts are co-ed. That's something?
Well, no. This particular branch. Is co-ed. It grew out of a program that they had at one point called the Explorers, which they eventually dropped that and replaced it with this. And Venturing is, it focuses more on life skills and kind of taking things that are maybe a hobby that you have or whatever and turning it into a practical life skill. And they do a lot of the high adventure things like the Boy Scouts do, but they have a lot of other things that go with it as well. I know there's one Venturing Crew in Tennessee that's just a music crew. That's what they do, is music. And so that's kind of the idea behind Venturing. Is it's kind of a broader range.
Well, you know, that's one of the neat things about this job I do here is because you learn things new stuff all the time. I had no idea that existed within the Boy Scouts.
A lot of people don't, unless they're actually in Boy Scouts and then they've heard of it.
Yeah. Okay. And so you're in that up until 20 years old. Is that what you said?
Up until 20 years old. My sister actually just graduated out of it. She turned 21, and now she's an adult leader, and so it takes you right from being in the crew and being active in it until you hit 21, and you can turn right around and be an adult leader after that.
Okay.
And sort of reapply some of the things that you learned and teach some of the younger students.
Okay. And how old are you when you first get started in scouting?
In scouting, it's really young, not even double digits yet. I think I'm thinking it's like 6 or 7. But in Venturing, it's 14 is the earliest that you can join. And I've actually not been involved in the just Boy Scouts. I only recently started in Venturing when I was about 16.
I see.
We started getting involved in that, and it's I've learned a lot though in just 2 years it's been now, and it's been a very good opportunity.
Okay. Are you from Tullahoma, Benjamin?
I am. I am.
Okay. All right. Now you guys are doing something that maybe a lot of you don't think of every day, but everybody's encouraging you to be patriotic and such, which means you have flags in your home or business or whatever. And when those flags wear out, there's a right and a wrong way to dispose of them, and you guys are doing an event, I think.
Right. Well, the United States Code, Section 4, actually it details when a flag is in such condition that it is no longer a fit emblem of display, that it should be destroyed in an appropriate way. And it actually says preferably by burning. A lot of people think, when they think of burning a flag, they think it's just an inherently disrespectful thing, but in the actual United States Code, it details that is when you're doing it in a respectful way. The way that we do it is we have a line of our students 2 by 2, and they take the flag and they salute each other, and then they walk over to a fire that has been lit, and they carefully unfold the flag and lay it gently over the fire, and then salute as it expires. And that's the way that we do that. And that's actually, there's a lot of places that you can go. You can look up on the internet, and there's a lot of places that detail various forms of ceremony for disposing of old flags that just maybe have been out for so long that they've come to pieces, that you don't want to have flying anymore. And this is one of the ways that is a respectful way of taking care of them when they've hit their expiration date, I suppose would be the way to put it.
And if I recall correctly, this is something that Scouts have done this sort of thing forever, have they?
Yeah, it's a service that we provide. It seems more like just a ceremony, but when you think about it, it really is a community service, because there's a lot of people who they have an old flag but they don't know exactly what to do with it. They don't know how to take care of it, and so we invite them to attend a ceremony. They bring their flag, and they can just show up and give us a flag and watch as it's retired. And we do that for some people. Sometimes the ceremonies will go on for a long time, because a lot of people show up with flags. Sometimes car dealerships will show up with the really big flags that they have outside of, and those take a while. That might be somewhat
problematic.
Well, they take a lot longer, and they take a lot more care. It's not a problem. It's just it takes a little longer,
And you guys are doing that. Is it this weekend?
It's this weekend. It's this Saturday, June 16th at 9 in the morning behind St. Paul's.
Okay. Now, how do you? A lot of people have these flags. Now, do they bring them to you in advance? How does that work?
Well, some people bring them to us in advance, but it's perfectly welcome. If someone has a flag that they want to retire, they can just show up on Saturday morning and present their flag to us and say, "Hey, I'd like to have this retired." And it's not like something that someone has to sign up for in advance or anything. It's just we're doing a community service, and so we want to open that up to everyone that has a flag they feel is not displayable anymore.
How many Scouts or people that are in your venturing crew will be involved in this process?
Well, our venturing crew personally has only done a couple of these before. This will be our third. And last time, I believe it was somewhere along the line of 10 of our crew, and we also did it alongside Boy Scout Troop 402, who actually have their meetings in St. Paul's. We did it alongside them, and there were, I want to say, anywhere from 15 to 20 of them, and so there were a lot of students there that were willing to help out with this and did it well. As well as there are adult volunteers who are there to oversee and make sure everything goes well, make sure everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing, and so they don't do something disrespectful or careless with a flag, because we want to be as careful as we possibly can be with them, because it's an important thing.
Okay. All right, so that starts, that is this Saturday, starts at 9 o'clock at St. Paul Catholic Church here in Tullahoma.
Yes.
And you don't have to have made arrangements in advance to do that. You can just show up and you guys will take care of it.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Okay. Great program, and that's coming up this Saturday, so stop by and see Benjamin, and he might even tell you how you can get in the venturing crew if you're interested in that.
Yeah, we're always looking for new members. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming by today. I appreciate it very much. All right, we'll be right back in a moment with more living right after this.
We got everything covered, but we will.
I'm NASCAR driver Mark Martin. You know what's worse than waiting in traffic? Waiting in the emergency room when you're in pain. So choose the ER that's extra fast, ER Extra. ER Extra is specifically engineered to get you the help you need and back in action with race car speed. ER Extra. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
ER Extra. Exclusively at Harton Regional Medical Center.
Get Tullahoma's news first, fast, and free with Tullahoma's News Leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Jimmy and Jenny bring you local weather, sports, community calendar events, birth announcements, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Tullahoma's News, get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
When you see the sign, The Main Event, take a close look inside at a hair studio that offers services by some of the best master stylists in Middle Tennessee. These stylists offer a list of services that compete with large city salons, from trendy cuts for men, women, and children to the latest color techniques, including highlights and bold color accents. Other services offered include permanent hair weaving and relaxing to formal hairstyle for that special occasion. You can also give yourself a very special treat with a full makeover, including full body waxing. For your convenience, we are open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until the last client leaves happy. Call and make your appointment at 931-571-8682 or stop by our Tullahoma location at 207 North Jackson Street. Pamper yourself at The Main Event today.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and I tell you what, I am always excited when I get to talk with somebody who is from here, left here, comes back here, and is successful. These young people are marvelous, and today I have travel writer Kristen Luna with me, and Kristen is from Tullahoma, and she has traveled the world.
I have about 100 countries or so now, I think.
And Kristen and my son Jacob graduated in the same class, and Kristen just sort of, where's Kristen? Well, I don't know. Have you seen Kristen? Kristen's not around. Where's Kristen? I think she's in Egypt. What? And what this young lady has done, and she just got through telling me, who started you on this journey?
Diane Sawyer, who started many people in their careers, and that would be Tullahoma's Diane Sawyer, not the Diane Sawyer on TV.
Right.
The superior local Diane Sawyer.
Yeah, I agree, and what a blessing she's been to all of us in so many ways. So she kind of pushed you and gave you the idea that, hey, let's go out and try this. You can do this.
She did. She got me involved in the high school paper when I was 14 years old, and that was a big commitment back then because you had to come in at 7 o'clock, you know, a good hour and 15 minutes before class started, and I worked with several of my classmates, Tracy Masuda, who's one of my best friends, creating the newspaper, and we were mentored by Dr. Sawyer, and then of course I went on to take her AP class, and she actually took me on one of my first big trips abroad. Our senior year in high school, she took about 15 of us and some of our parents to Italy on a spring break trip. Jacob was there as well.
Went, yeah.
And that kind
was
of got
a
my big
life-changing experience for him.
Yeah, that was for me as well. I'd only been to really the Caribbean, and I'd been to England with my parents, but before that I'd never been anywhere else out of the country. And then, you know, in the decade or 11 years since that happened, I've been to about 100 countries and 6 continents. So.
And you have taken this to the point that now you write for Southern Living, you write for Red Book, some of the other titles, because I've got them here, but Who are some of the other titles that you write for?
Okay, so after college, I went to Sewanee for 2 years, and then I went to the University of Tennessee for 2 years to finish the journalism part of my degree. And both were great schools, great experiences. I interned, worked at local papers and news and magazines, news sites, and then I moved to New York and got a job at Newsweek. Started the day after I graduated from UT, and I jumped around at different magazines.
Was that hard? I wouldn't think those jobs would just pop out there for anybody.
No, a lot of networking, a lot of writing for free for years. I spent my spring break, my senior year, going up to New York and interviewing I interviewed at 7 magazines in a day and a half.
Wow.
And I actually got 4 job offers at the time. And so I worked at Newsweek in the international editions on weekends, which again was a big sacrifice. And then I got a job working during the week as a celebrity correspondent for an entertainment magazine. And then I spent some time in New York, and then I went back to Europe, and I continued to freelance for Newsweek. And I got my first guidebook assignment for Frommer's while I was there, and I went to Spain for a little bit of time. And meanwhile, I was doing a postgraduate degree in Holland and Denmark through University of Tennessee. And I met my husband there, so it served many purposes.
Well, good.
And then I moved back to New York and worked at other magazines, Entertainment Weekly, Lucky, which is a fashion magazine at Condé Nast, and eventually built up enough contacts to create a freelance career. And currently I write for many magazines, Southern Living, Redbook, Glamour, all the big travel magazines like Budget Travel, Sherman's Travel, some of the in-flight magazines. I get a lot of emails from Telehomans who see me in Southwest Airlines. I've written some big stories for them. It's pretty fun.
And so I'm just blown away, folks, and I'm sure you are as well. That has allowed you now to make some choices on your own, I would assume, as to where you go and what you write about. Of course, knowing that you have to pick a subject matter and a place that is attractive to these magazines, because you have to win a spot in those. Your stuff has to be good enough to win a spot in that magazine.
Exactly. It's very competitive now, especially the media has been in a bit of a declining state the last few years in the print side of things, because everything's going online. So it's definitely gotten more competitive. We've seen a big switch in international travel to domestic travel now. So whereas a few years ago I was going to Rwanda and the Cook Islands and the Arctic Circle, now I'm trying to focus more on destinations within or close to the U.S. because that's where more people are going, as the economy continues to
do whatever it does.
Do whatever.
Nobody's figured that out yet, what exactly is going on. You said it has switched from print media to, and a lot of that switched to the internet, and a lot of it is very involved in Facebook and YouTube, and you said you had a blog?
I do. 5 years ago when I was working at Condé Nast, it was a monthly magazine. It was a little bit slower than the weeklies I'd been at before, so I started a blog called camelsandchocolate.com, which is a bit of a different title.
I think it's a great name.
I wanted something a bit memorable that summed up my journeys, and I'd been on this photo on a camel when I was in Morocco in 2005, and the University of Tennessee picked it up and ended up using it for their study abroad brochure, the cover of their alumni magazine, The Torchbearer, their annual calendar, everything. So I kind of became known as that camel girl, and continue to write camels in Israel or Dubai or wherever I've been. So I started this blog, and currently we have anywhere between 50,000 and 75,000 readers a month, and it's about my travels and my photography. My husband contributes a lot. He's a really great photographer. He's a California boy who I've brought back to Tullahoma with me, and so we run and operate this blog and have kind of become online entrepreneurs, creating digital media packages for smaller companies and bed and breakfasts and tourism boards who don't have an online presence and who don't know about Facebook and Twitter, and so we're focusing on that.
Yeah, well, I know Kristen sent me some photos, and what I'd like Philip to do right now is bring up all 4 or 5 of these. She sends all these beautiful photos, but we'll bring up 4, 5, 6 of them. Tell us what's going on here.
Here I was in Rwanda in a small village, and these children surrounded me. They'd want me to take a picture of them and then show it to them because they'd never seen photos of themselves. They didn't even have mirrors in these small villages, so it was really touching.
Yeah, reflection in the water at the river is probably all they ever saw.
Exactly.
Well, that's great. Oh, I like that.
Here I am on this island called One Foot Island, and actually Survivor was filmed here. It was in the Cook Islands in the South Pacific, which is part of the Polynesian Triangle. Probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever been, because it's not like Tahiti or Bora Bora where there's just so many people in resorts. It was rather remote and no international presence, no Hiltons, no Marriotts, just locally owned businesses.
Right. Wonderful. Ooh.
Here I'm in the Arctic Circle on the Norwegian island of Svalbard, almost at 80 degrees north. I took an expedition boat on Hurtigruten around this island called Svalbard and got to take Zodiac landings to different parts of the island and see polar bears and other walruses and ice cubes.
Ice cubes, a lot of ice.
I'm also a big diver.
There's Kristen underwater. Kristen. It's like, what was that little guy that wore the
Where's
stripe?
Waldo?
Where's Waldo? Where's Kristen?
My husband and I do a lot of scuba diving. So for our honeymoon 2 years ago, we went to Borneo, which is the 3rd largest island in the world. It's part Malaysia, part Indonesia, and then a little bitty tiny part is Brunei. And so we went there for 3 weeks, mainly to do diving and to see the wildlife, orangutans, several kinds of monkeys, and turtles, sharks, everything.
So isn't it wonderful to be able to go on your honeymoon, have a wonderful honeymoon, at the same time you can turn it into something that will pay for the honeymoon when you take the story and the pictures and take them to a magazine, and so
it has pros and cons because on one hand you're never not working.
Yeah, that's
Anytime
true.
I try to go on vacation, I say I'm not going to write about this. You know, I have my notebook out and I'm taking notes and we're taking photos and I'm texting or emailing my editors on my iPhone saying, oh, this would make a great story. So it's great in that it funds itself, but at the same time it's
sort of like Fran, my wife, tells me we will go to a play or to film something, and she'll say, oh, well, how was it? And I say, well, I really don't know. And she said, well, you filmed it? And I said, yeah, but that's what I was doing.
Exactly.
I was filming it. And when you're filming something and when you're working like that, you never really get to see and concentrate on what's going on because you're concentrating on your job.
Or you see everything from behind the lens.
Right,
we have
right.
a lot of photography equipment and we're always trying to capture everything, and
Sure,
sometimes you need to put it all away and actually enjoy the moment.
What's going on.
But that's really
right.
hard with social media and everything else going on, and you're
right.
constantly connected. So
okay, so what's up for Kristen next?
Well, most recently I did a world circumnavigation with my husband. I worked for Semester at Sea, which is the study abroad program affiliated with University of Virginia. It's a nonprofit organization. It's mainly college students. My little sister went 2 years ago, and that's how I got the idea. I said, oh, I'm an adult now, but I can still study abroad if I work for a study abroad program. So I went in the fall all around the world for 4 months. I was in the field office coordinating travel for the students and the faculty and the staff. We went to 14 countries in 117 days. We went all the way from Boston around the globe through the Panama Canal, and we ended in Florida. And most recently I went back on an enrichment voyage that the company does kind of in between their semesters, and anyone can go on this. It's kind of more your traditional cruise, but it's educational. So instead of all the kind of, bit cheesy cruise stuff going on, we had Valerie Biden Owens, Joe Biden's sister and campaign manager. She was talking about political ads and campaigns, and we had marine biologists talking about the wildlife we'd be seeing. We had Spanish classes, art classes, wine
Wonderful.
tastings.
Wow.
And
great trip.
Yeah, so we went to all the Central American countries, and then we went down to Ecuador and out to the Galapagos Islands, which was amazing. And I went as the communications manager, so I did all the photography technology, the social media channels, all the writing about it. And I actually took 2 Tullahoma folk with me, and we're trying to get a bigger group to go on the one next year to Europe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really fun.
Okay.
So.
Well, they're telling us that our time's about up.
Okay.
How can someone get in touch with you?
They can go on my blog, which is camelsandchocolate.com, or they can email me at KristenLuna, KRISTINLUNA @gmail.com, and I'm always on my email, always happy to talk to anyone. So.
Kristen, thank you so much. Folks, we're going to find a way to keep her around on this deal. Trust me, Kristen will be catching up with Kristen. Might be one of the next segments on this Just Plain Living show.
Works for me.
Okay. Thank you, dear. Welcome home.
Thank
and
you.
Thank you for spending your time with us. And thank you for being successful. We'll be right back after these messages.
I went to several colleges, but when I stepped into this gym, it just felt like home.
Just learning the different techniques and the way Mr. Bryan tells us how to study the subject. Art, that's where it's really at for me.
I decided to go to nursing because I've always wanted to help people. You make those connections that you probably never forget. This is my motto, my future.
I'm Marley Matlin for the American Red Cross. In an emergency, infants and children can't always tell you what's wrong. Being able to read critical signs and knowing how to respond can make all the difference. The Red Cross offers infant and child CPR training, where you can learn how to recognize and respond to respiratory and cardiac emergencies. Visit www.redcross.org or call 1-800-HELP-NOW. Together, we can save a life.
Waiting around for things other people get right away just doesn't make much sense. Get high-speed Charter internet and enjoy downloads way faster than DSL.
All right, folks, I'm back again. You know, there's something happening that's really great in town. In a couple of weeks, it's the 28th, it's the end of June and the 1st of July, and it's Guys, I'm a Guy, and Dolls, and she's a doll. Right here,
Not
Rosie
really.
Graham. She's one of my dolls.
Oh, John,
how are you,
thank
dear?
I am tired. I'm doing well.
Rosie told me, Rosie and Janet Patterson are directing.
Right, directing Guys and Dolls in June, and this is one we have been looking forward to doing for some time, but we've got a great production staff, and we're not alone in this whole thing.
Oh, never.
So, and we're hoping next week we're going to bring some of our cast on the show for you, so you can hear them and see how good they are.
Well, we're pushing this kind of hard because this is a great play. I don't remember that play has it ever been done in Tullahoma?
I think it was done at the high school way back when.
Whoa!
Oh my goodness! Oh my! What did we just have?
I think somebody just fell. Are you all right?
Yep. Okay.
All right. Julia just fell, but
we're gonna be all right.
We're gonna be all right. The show goes on.
The show must. Well, I got to say one thing special about this show, John.
Okay.
Now, y'all have to know that Jacob Gray, John's infamous son, is the leading role in this play. And we are so excited about Jacob doing Sky Masterson. If you know anything about this play, it is a wonderful part, and Jacob is wonderful in the part. So you need to come, if nothing else, to come see Jacob do this. And
I know he's working hard on it, and you know, it's funny, that's not something that he did in high school at all, and all of a sudden, because of the country show, because of Peggy, and of course I've been in the country show for years, getting him involved in that country show, he decided that he wanted to spend more time in the theater, and got a part in Joseph, and he was Potiphar in Joseph, and he loved that, and so he thought, I'm going to try. At one point he wasn't going to try out for this, and
Well,
And
we talked him into it.
we talked him into trying
We
out.
said,
and
Jacob, you need to do this. We need you, Jacob.
And
so
he's really studied and working hard, and I'm real proud of him. But that enough said about that. You can come see and you'll find out.
Right.
We're promoting this thing because we want everybody to know this is going to be a great show. The cast is about what, Rosie? 30?
about 35
25?
people in the cast, and we've got a wonderful, really delightful cast. Some from the Joseph Show, and some new ones. I think the leading roles, which I think is very interesting. Beside Jacob from Tullahoma, we have Samantha Terrell, who's from Manchester and has done a lot of theater and just graduated from Belmont. And then we have a girl named Lindsay Slaughter from Shelbyville, who's doing the role of Adelaide. Fun part. And she.
You said you might bring Adelaide next week.
Next
maybe
week, I'm
we're
hoping
try to
Adelaide,
bring Adelaide
and James Erickson, who maybe you remember, he works at Tullahoma High School. But James is doing the part of Nathan Detroit, and he's delightful.
He's
too.
the other male lead.
Right. He was in Spelling Bee last fall. Any of you that saw Spelling Bee?
He was the guy.
He was the foot.
He was
the magic foot. And he was hysterical and he's adorable. So we've got 4 leads that I think bring a real diversity. And then the cast is diverse and fun. This is a funnier show than I ever thought it was. When I started reading it, the lines are hysterical in it. When you get Mike Sneed and Jim Zidane and some of those fun people anyway that are going to present and that carry it through, it's just hysterical. So, and fun, and the music, you'll recognize the music. This is one of the first major musicals that was written, and they said it's one of the best because it's just, Frank Lesser wrote some wonderful music to go along with this. You'll recognize so many of the tunes. Luck Be a Lady, Sit Down, You're Rockin' the Boat, I'll Know. It's all singable, wonderful music, and I think you'll go out of it fun-filled and feeling good about yourself. So I say come.
Yeah. And again, what are the dates on that, Rosie?
It opens, we're only doing one weekend. We're doing the last weekend in June, opening the 28th, which is a Thursday. Then we'll run the 29th, the 30th, and the 1st of July, Sunday afternoon. So with 3 nights and 1 afternoon. And it's at the Tullahoma High School Auditorium.
Right.
Because we wanted to use that again, and they were nice enough to say you can use it in the summertime. We just thought it's a different venue sometimes because so much goes on, and it's a beautiful venue. So we hope that people will enjoy that part of it as well, coming there. So
very good. And that's Guys and Dolls is based on a short story written by Damon Runyon.
Right.
And it's amazing, you know, most of these plays are written as plays, or are created as such, or come from a book. And this is from just a short story.
This is from a short story, but Damon Runyon has written. I've got a book at home, and he writes about these characters, and they are wonderful. And he displays within these short stories each character, Nicely Johnson, Sky Masterson, Nathan Detroit. He talks about who they are, what they are. But yes, it's really just a short story based on the lives of Sarah Brown, who is the Mission Doll.
The Mission Doll, and she is, and that is Samantha Terrell.
That's Samantha.
Who does that? And Samantha, of course, has been on the country show with us. She's a very, very talented writer. She writes wonderful songs. She's a good musician. She's just a talented young lady.
Right.
Very, very talented.
Right.
That whole family is.
Yes,
very
they are.
Talented
yes,
people.
they are. So we're delighted to have Samantha in our fold over here doing this show too.
So I think that we've just about waxed this floor for today. But knowing that next week we're going to be hold that Guys.
I'm going to hold my poster up.
Up there you go, Guys and Dolls. Look for that. Look for that. Buy your tickets. Hey, they can go online.
You can go online to www.communityplayhouse.org. You can pick your seats. You can pay for them online and print them out and walk right in. You do not have to do anything more than that. Or you can call 455-0620. And make a reservation. It is an answering service, but you can make your reservation and get called back
right
if you don't want to do it online. But online's wonderful
for everybody.
And you can do it. This is the high school auditorium's in there. So.
Right. But a lot of people, there's still a whole lot of people that aren't online,
That's right.
And so just pick up the phone.
Pick up the
I
phone
want to talk to you
and call, and we've got somebody that will make that for you.
Make that reservation. Miss Rosie Graham, one of my favorites forever and ever.
John
we'll see you
Graham.
next week, honey.
I'll be here. Thank you, dear.
Love you.
See you
We'll
later.
see you later, folks.
Bye.
Right after these messages.
It is said that the eyes are the windows to the soul, and the Eye Care Center wants to make your eyes the best windows possible. The professionals at the Eye Care Center have been offering comprehensive eye care for over 30 years. From eye examinations to eye surgery, from children to seniors, we have the services you need. We pride ourselves on taking the time to fully understand our patients' wants and needs. Each patient is a unique situation and deserves our full attention and the latest treatment options. So call or stop by one of our 4 convenient locations and start seeing better today.
Hello, this is J.D. Oliver from the Smokehouse on Monte Eagle Mountain. Me and my sisters Nancy and Betsy would like to thank you all for your continued support. This year we're celebrating our 50-year anniversary at the Smokehouse. In conjunction with our 50-year celebration, we are bringing Music on the Mountain every Saturday night, 7 p.m. till 10 p.m., featuring the best of Nashville. We have had some wonderful singers, hit songwriters, and Nashville's rising stars have taken the stage. Come out this Saturday night and every Saturday night through the end of the year. Make it a date night or bring the whole family. Help us celebrate 50 years in the community. Music on the Mountain is free every Saturday night at Jim Oliver Smokehouse.
Hey, this is Sean Mayer. I'd like to invite everybody out to the Smokehouse every Saturday night for great music and awesome food.
Thank you very much, y'all.
Some people think that pressing their on-demand button will cost money or make their house explode or something. Of course, neither of these things is true. On-demand is just a way to access thousands of free movies and TV shows. The code to blow up a house is actually channel up, channel down, 2*77.
On demand, thousands of free movies and TV shows on your schedule, and nothing bad.
We're back here. It's Marilyn Ewing, and of course it's always a pleasure to be here, and of course we're speaking to those individuals in the Shelbyville and Bedford County area. As you may have heard already, it's just about time, ready for the Big Duck River cleanup that is set for Saturday, June 23rd, 2012. And of course my very prestigious guest, I love her to death. We all love her in the Shelbyville, Bedford County community. Blessed to have Helen Garner with us. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning, Marilyn. I'm doing well, thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Always good to see you and such. And when I do see you at certain times of the year, such as this one, it's always about the time the Duck River cleanup is, of course, being planned, and everything is kind of coming together and such. This has been going on for some years now. How long has it been, actually?
This will be our 15th year, actually,
wow.
Marilyn.
You're kidding.
And it seems like yesterday that we started, but it has continued on, and it continues to be successful.
Absolutely.
And that's what we love.
Absolutely. The purpose of this, of course, this is a source of our drinking water and such. Duck River, of course, all in the county surrounding us and such, you know, we work hand in hand, and it's very important that we do this particular event each and every year. Elaborate a little bit more on that, on how, you know, it is a source, a drinking water source for us, and it's very important.
It is important, Marilyn, and the Duck River watershed is 1.8 million acres.
Wow.
And to continue to keep it workable and clean,
that's right,
and enjoyable for everyone, we have to do our part.
Yes.
And the other counties, Murray County is having a cleanup this coming Saturday, the 16th.
Okay.
Marshall County is having their cleanup on our day, the 23rd of June.
Yes.
So we've got those 3 counties now working. We're trying so hard to get the others to join in.
Yeah.
And what a wonderful, wonderful thing it would be if we could all clean up the Duck River.
Absolutely.
And on the same day.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Let's talk about that particular day. You start out with breakfast in the morning. There are 2 meals, actually. You know, this is a wonderful thing to get people motivated, get a little energy going as well. Let's talk about who's providing the meals, by the way.
Okay, Marilyn, I'm so happy to tell you that. This is such a community effort. It's unbelievable how many people are willing to donate food, donate anything we need.
Yes.
And we have breakfast biscuits from some of our fast food places.
Yeah.
And then we have coffee and orange juice and fruit and just a light breakfast. It's not a heavy breakfast, but we have plenty of it. So there's enough there that they can have all they want to eat.
Absolutely.
We start at 7:30 in the morning with the breakfast and the sign-ins. Wayne Bomer, who is my co-chair of this project, he gets everybody assigned a place on the river, and the breakfast is going on, and a lot of visiting and fun and laughter is going on. So it's just a wonderful time.
Exactly. Now, boats, canoes, and devices, things of this nature, it's all dispersed into different parts of the river, or how does it work exactly?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
We use river boats and canoes and kayaks on the river. And then we do streamside as well for those who have no boats or anything like that. And underneath the overpasses and the access points going into the river where people can enter and exit the river. So Wayne assigns different folks for different stretches of the river.
Right.
So I think last year we had folks on about 35 miles up the Duck River in Bedford County.
You're kidding. You're kidding. But the most amazing thing is some of the things that you pull out of the river. What are those things?
Marilyn, it's amazing what has been pulled from the river. We have had sofas, we've had commodes, more than one, we've had kitchen sinks, we've had carpets, we've had thousands of tires.
That is amazing.
And we've had just you name it, and bicycles even. We've had a couple of bicycles pulled out.
Exactly.
But it's just basically trash, and it's unfortunate that it's thrown in there to begin with.
Absolutely. Now, we're going to talk about the volunteers and individuals can participate in that type of thing. When it comes to the Duck River Agency and such, I guess this is an ongoing project because, you know, this particular event pops up in June, the latter part of June and such, but the agency is actually working with all of the counties, some of the ones that you mentioned, to keep this top-of-the-mind awareness that this needs to be done. And as you mentioned, you're trying to spread it to more counties as you speak.
Right, yes. Doug Murphy is the director of the Duck River Agency, and he looks over the whole watershed.
Good.
And they have a board of directors, and it's a very well-run organization. And Doug is so knowledgeable, and he's so willing to help. And they actually supply the T-shirts and the trash bags for the cleanup.
Oh, very good, very good. Well, let's talk about emergency personnel and such. I know that that's a big thing when you're going out on a little, maybe sometimes dangerous waters and such. And some individuals are a little afraid of water as well. So that's covered as well.
Yes, it is. We always have the EMS people there, the EMA. We have the rescue squad is always there. The volunteer fire services, Mark Thomas brings his fireboat there, and so we're probably about as well prepared as we can be. And we always, when Wayne is assigning everyone their spots, he always gets their cell phone numbers. And of course gives them ours. So we're just a phone call away, and hopefully we've really had only one accident, and one of our volunteers slipped on the bank and hurt his shoulder really bad. And that is basically, we've had cuts and scratches and things like that, but nothing, thank goodness, that has been really bad.
Absolutely.
So we keep our fingers crossed every year. But we do have those folks there to help us in case we need them.
Very good. Lots of volunteers in years past and such, and of course you continue to solicit for even more volunteers, I'm sure.
We do, and folks like you all here today are so important to us in our program, in letting the public know what we're doing and the times and what goes on, and hopefully we'll get their interest going, and that they will come. We have the radio folks in Shelbyville, WLIJ, they have been wonderful throughout the years, and the Times Gazette and the Tullahoma Times, as a matter of fact, they've all run articles for for us and reminders.
Sure.
And we have banners that we put out in Shelbyville, and so we do everything we can think of to let folks know what's going on and when.
Absolutely, and I want to make mention as well, large groups are certainly encouraged to come, individual office groups and, things like that. Organizations maybe put a little challenge on to do all you can do down there. So I know, as I mentioned earlier, the Next Step Home will be participating this year. So those individuals are going to be commended and such, and it's just going to be a wonderful day, of course.
It will be. Yes. It will be, and we encourage folks to get teams together.
Sure.
In fact, we have a $100 award for the team bringing in the most trash.
Oh, very good.
And we have just a smaller award or prize for whoever brings in something that's the most unusual for that day.
Wow, that's interesting.
So I think Nancy June Brannon last year and her partner brought in a Christmas tree.
Oh my goodness.
So they won the prize for the most unusual.
Yes.
And but we do have scout troops, and we have teams from some of our businesses.
Good.
And we have the Tony Rice Center guys who come, and we're so happy to have Next Step Home coming this year.
Absolutely.
We're really delighted to have that group
It's going to be a wonderful day for individuals that may still want to volunteer or donate monetarily or their services. Are there numbers that individuals may can call, Ms. Helen?
Yes, they can call me or they can call Wayne.
Okay.
And my number, if somebody wants to take that number down now, it's 931-684-3398.
Yes.
And my cell phone number, I don't mind them calling that either, is 931-580-3398.
Very good, very good.
And Wayne, you can reach him at 931-684-1693.
All right, very
and
good.
Please feel free. We would be so delighted to talk with anybody.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, it's going to be a great thing again. It's coming up on Saturday, June 23rd, right?
Correct.
Starting around 7:30, breakfast, and you'll get dispersed shortly after that. So, Ms. Ellen, hats off to you for another great year of what you're doing with this Duck River project.
Thank you, Marilyn. If we have another Hive second, we do feed everybody lunch as well.
Yes, you do at 11:30.
Yes,
so
we do.
there you go. Okay. Heads off, okay?
Thank you
Thank you so
very much.
Always good
Appreciate
good to see you.
You too, Marilyn.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. That's another segment. Thank you for watching. We'll return right after this.
Serving you as a local firefighter.
Proudly served our country in the United States Air Force.
Serving Tullahoma.
Helping our kids.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop. Your comfort is our service. We'd like to thank Tullahoma for the privilege of serving your heating and cooling needs.
How can toys like these lead to a 6-year-old's death and leave another child permanently brain damaged? Because they're not toys at all. A safety message from your local fire department and this station.
Oh, there's my cat. Should I put her away?
Lighten it up a little bit.
How's this? Great.
Good.
There we go.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Cove Lake, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Martin Weakley, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, Rugby in the Big South Fork, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
All right, couple quick things. We got the Moon Pie Fest in Bell Buckle this weekend. You need to go see those folks. We've got Father's Day at the Bell Buckle Recital Hall.
We got the Lynchburg thing going on. They're opening a Moon Pie store in Lynchburg, and along with Gusset Jeans is opening an outlet in Lynchburg. So lots of things going on, and you got some neat stuff from
And if
Jim
you can't
Oliver's
find
Smokehouse.
what you want there, folks, go to the Smokehouse and get you a bottle of barbecue sauce. Miserably, wretchedly, horribly hot Quad X barbecue sauce right there. Jim Oliver Smokehouse for all that good old smokehouse cooking food.
That's exactly right.
How we going to end this thing
I
today,
think we're
Jim?
going back to Bonnaroo. There's a lot to cover
Are we
there.
gonna, maybe we can find Andrew while we're there.
Yeah, let's look for Andrew on the film. Thanks so much for watching, folks. We'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
That's kind of a patchwork song of New York City.
Out there in weather, city frostbitten windows.